if you want to bridge the reality from where you are to where you want to be, it's going to require two things of you. On one hand, it is letting go of the old. It may be letting go of an attachment you have. It might be letting go of a belief system that no longer serves you. It may be letting go of people that you've been around that have maybe been draining your energy. But whatever it is, your current reality is equal to that which you've been putting out, and that's what also you've been allowing. Some people have trouble letting go of boundaries. But nonetheless, this is about being aware of that and then making a choice to let it go. And I know letting go can't be easy. It can be easy. I know letting go for many people isn't easy. But I'm in a healing room right now, and like this thing right here, this is a PEMF bed that puts pulse electromagnetic frequencies through your body that helps with healing. We have a biocharger thing over here. Looks like a little Tesla machine. Also has to do with the energetic field of the body, letting go of frequencies or energies that don't serve you so that you can then purge them out of your system. Over here, you will see a hyperbaric chamber. This thing, same thing. It brings high vibrational oxygen into your body so that you can then let go of what doesn't serve. And these are all different tools, different processes that we can use. And the one thing that I really want to share with you in this video is that anything that helps you give yourself permission to let go is healing in of itself. That's really all transformation is. It's letting go to then wire in. It's letting go of an old story that doesn't serve you. It's letting go of a person that's draining your energy, or it's letting go of an attachment that you have to a story you tell yourself about who you are. All transformation is about letting go. And even in my own life now, I look to what I'm experiencing right now in my life, and I'm letting go of a lot of beliefs that don't serve me. One belief that I had is that, like I'm growing out my hair now. One of the beliefs that I had for a long time is that even though I like having, I've had a beard before I got on YouTube, and I like having a beard. For me, it feels good to have a beard. I shaved it because I was like, I want to get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube and grow a message that impacts many people. But I don't think I can do that if I look like I have a beard or longer hair, And that was a story I told myself. And for a long time, that was the reality I was in. And maybe that would become a self-fulfilling prophecy at some level. But what I'm realizing is that the more I hold on to things that don't serve and belief systems that don't serve, and also trying to make other people accept me or like me, the more that I'm creating resistance within myself. So it's almost like, in a way, me bridging my old identity, which cared a lot about what people thought, wanted to be more relatable. If I don't have a beard, I'm more relatable. If I don't grow out my hair and I look kind of like everyone expects me to look, then I'll be more, my message will spread to more people. What I'm realizing now is that keeps me feeling attached and in a box. I even look to a lot of the videos I've had on YouTube that have done very well in the past. And a lot of times they were videos that were I was kind of scared to put out, and I cared what people thought. I went through an awareness of me being attached back in 2018 or 19, and still to this day, there's definitely an attachment sometimes to the content that I create, just to be honest with you guys. And there was a time when I was making, I was afraid to make videos on esoteric concepts like star seeds and the certain ascension, awakening we're going through, which are very esoteric ideas. But eventually I realized that, why am I afraid? I'm afraid of what people will think. And once I became aware of that, and I let that go, and I made those videos, guess what happened? Everything got taken to the next level. Many times, the key to letting go is having the courage to step into the unknown. It's having the courage to make a new choice about who you are. And that's the thing that I see holds back so many people. It's the not being able to let go because of the story you tell yourself. It's a story. I can't start, a lot of people I see that, especially that follow my videos, want to either be creating content or want to help people with their healing practice. Maybe they have a Reiki business. And they hold themselves back because of a story. They're like, well, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to do... And that's all a story that we tell ourselves that keeps us in limbo mode. That keeps us from actually stepping forth and boldly being who we came here to be. At one point in my past, a lot of times what happens to when people eventually decide to let go... Let me put this down for a sec. People that eventually make the choice to let go is when they experience a lot of pain. Maybe someone's experiencing an immense amount of pain, and unfortunately, a lot of spiritual awakening comes from pain. I was in that 9-to-5 job I hated, and then eventually I said, no more, I'm going to start making daily videos. I'm going to bridge this reality. Remember, all transformation is, it's a letting go of the old to then wire in the new. So back in when I used to have ADHD, for example, got labeled as having, many of you know my story. I know I've told this many times on YouTube, but maybe I'll share it in a way that's a little bit different for you to understand, because you can see in any part of my own transformation, even to this day with growing out the beard and growing out the hair, and I may not keep it, I may eventually shave it, but I'll shave it because I want to, not because I believe that I can't grow a message by doing so. I believe that many things in life are also self-fulfilling prophecies. So if I tell myself a story that I can't grow on YouTube unless I look a certain way, or unless I make people unless I'm only sharing content that I think people's going to like, then what I do is I put myself in that box, and that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like almost like the universe is saying, and so it is. I can't do this unless this, and so it is. But what if I reframed it? Much of our reality is based on meaning. The meaning we give to different situations. If you look at the scale of consciousness right here, you'll see shame, fear, anger, neutrality. You'll see reasoning, and then love. Reasoning is the intellect of the mind. In order to get into unconditional love, or to love in general, you got to let go of all attachments, and also attachment to meaning, attachment to the stories you tell yourself about who you are. And once you become aware of that, that's when you can move into a higher state. And that's also when reality becomes much more magical. So even for me, I'm looking at myself now, and I look to the past, for example. I let go of this self-image of myself of having ADHD, and I started to let go of that belief system, to let go of that label that people gave me in the past. And then I started to wire in a new way of being, a new habit. That habit was meditation. And it was out of pain that got me to that point to make that choice to then move into the new. The pain was if I am continuing to take Adderall, the side effects are you can't eat very much, you can't sleep very much. That's a lot of pain there. Come across meditation research and show, oh, this is very powerful. There's no negative side effects of meditation. So then I decided to wire in a new identity. As I began to meditate, I began to see myself as a more calm, meditative type person. That changed my sense of identity. So I let go of one to wire in the new. Same with having the 9-to-5 job. I used to tell myself a story, remember, and so it is. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I can't, I literally was trying to manifest from just thinking about things. One day I'm going to meet Tony Robbins. He's going to see this potential in me. He's going to put me on stage or something. But eventually what I did is I said, you know what? I'm not being that version of me. I'm going to let go of that image of me having a 9-to-5 job, me telling myself it's going to be very hard to do this and to put myself in front of people. I'm going to let go of that perspective, and I'm going to wire in a new identity. So in the same way, now what I'm doing is I have a belief. Maybe you've noticed on YouTube that I went from creating 7 videos a week down to like 3 or 4 videos a week. I know this sounds stupid, and you probably heard me tell the story before, but look at it again. Let go to wire in the new. I had to let go of the belief that said that in order for me to be successful, I need to constantly be grinding, constantly be creating this masculine way of going about my business. I have to do it. And people that know me will tell you I have an insane amount of willpower. And for 3 years, I have grinded my nose to the pavement to make and to become successful. But what if that was all a self-fulfilling prophecy? What if a lot of the people you watch out there that's like, hustle, work hard, hustle, 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 hustle. What if that's a self-fulfilling prophecy in of itself? Now, me personally, I've gotten a lot of great results from taking action, so I'm not knocking it. I think a lot of spiritual people as well sometimes, maybe they resist taking action because it seems low vibrational. But I believe if you're doing what you're truly passionate about, taking action is not hard. Me making daily videos wasn't actually hard, but I realized that at a certain point I was doing it just because I thought I had to. The passion and the love for creating videos then began to leave but it began to diminish because I was just doing what I thought I had to do. But now, one of the ways I'm wiring in this new way of being is I've realized, I was telling myself a belief, a story. I was telling myself a story for a long time that I'm going to stop making as much content and believing I have to work so hard. And I kept telling people I was aware of that belief, but I wasn't actually backing it up with action. In this case, it was actually the opposite of action. It was me not making a video, which would then be wiring in a new belief. By the way, this is the office right here. You see a whole bunch of really cool books. Tons and tons of cool books. Many of which you've probably seen me talk before about, like Power versus Force. And many of them, Power of Now, New Earth. But it was about me letting go. And in one way as well, I'm challenging my old belief system. I'm letting it go. But part of letting go as well is, you remember that chart of consciousness I just shared? On it, you'll see that of reason. You'll see that of the scale of consciousness. It goes up to reason and then love. Now, reasoning is a tricky thing because there are reasons we hold on to things. And that reason is normally we are getting some type of payoff. So what could we get a negative? For example, if you are attached to somebody that you used to date and you like are thinking about them all the time, the reason it's hard for you to let go is because you have a reasoning. You have a reasoning in your mind of why it's hard, a story about why it's hard for you to let go. You may have a story that this person was meant to be for you and you've now lost your opportunity. When in fact, what may be happening is you're projecting so much energy out, they're feeling that, and it's making them go into their cocoon. You see, so it's also about understanding yourself. You got to put the energy back on yourself. Or maybe that's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's my belief system. Anything you hear on YouTube, anything you hear any influencer talk about, it's their belief system. And some belief systems, or lack of belief system, like tearing down a lot of the old belief systems, was something I like to focus on. It's still a way of going about transformation. But the main thing that I want to let you know with this is that there's a reason it's hard for you to let go if you look at the scale of consciousness right here. And the reason is because you have a because there. It's hard for me to let go because ... A lot of times what are negative payoffs? Sometimes there's negative payoffs. Maybe somebody believes that they always get sick and they say, well, I don't know why. I want to let go of this belief. But maybe when you're sick, you get attention from other people. It happens sometimes. And when you get attention from other people, guess what happens? You then feel more worthy. So there's like a sense of worthiness there. So one of the biggest things I can tell you about transformation is it's all about letting go of the old story. I let go of my old story. Many of you know. I know I'm repetitive here with sharing my stuff, but I used to have the abusive stepmom in my life from 7 to 16 years old. I realized, by the way, there's a new piece of information for you. I used to always say 7 to 15. It was actually 16. I didn't realize it was even later than I thought. So I didn't have like a real childhood. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. Wasn't allowed to have friends. I was normally locked outside working. And all of a sudden, 16 years old comes around. I'm able to enjoy life, have friends. But I felt unworthy because of the pain I went through. And then what I realized is the meaning that I was giving to that past experience, the reasoning I was giving to the past experience was what made me think I was unworthy. When I saw that past led me to a spiritual awakening, that's when my life began to transform. If you look to your past, there's a story you have, and if you can change the meaning of the story by giving it a new meaning, you will then change the effect the past has on you. I looked to my painful past, and it led to pressure that created a spiritual awakening within me. And that led me and drove me to then make almost 1,500 videos on YouTube. In the same way now, what I'm doing is I'm challenging my old identity. I encourage every single one of you to challenge your old identity. And the way you do that is by becoming aware of the way you see yourself, of the story you tell yourself, of the reasoning you have in your mind about who you are and what you're capable of, and what love is and what money is. And as you become aware of all these things, you can then make a new choice about what that means to you. I look to my own brother's life. We went through a very similar thing. I love my brother to death. I can see, though, that we each gave it different meanings. I see that I gave it a meaning that ended up propelling me. Not at first. At first, I was angry. And remember, angry is a more powerful, it's a higher vibration than fear. I was moving the energy. The neutrality, that's where I learned to meditate. Observe my thoughts. Observe the story. And then eventually accept it. Have the courage to accept it, to understand is this as well. Anyone that's done anything harmful to you, they did it from the level of consciousness they were at. My ex-stepmom was treating my brother and I a certain way because that's how she was treated by her dad. And that awareness for me was everything, because then, not that it made it right, everything that happened, but it did help me understand more so. Then that changes the charge, because realize this, until you complete something from the past, you will repeat it. I met many of my ex-stepmom. There were many other people in my life, other people I dated, other managers, when I had a 9-to-5 job, that reflected back that same energy pattern until I became aware of it and I let it go. So all transformation it's a letting go of the old to then wire in the new. And the one thing that I encourage you to do is to let go of something today. To let go of a story you tell yourself about who you are. Comment below, what story are you letting go of? What person are you letting go of? What attachment are you letting go of that has been keeping you in low vibration and stopping you from really taking action and wiring in a new reality? You being that new reality. And I'll share with you right now, my version of that is doing and being what I want. I'm experiencing more yin in my life than ever before, which means I went to the creek. I just got back from the creek. I have some friends right now that are they're getting a sound bath healing right now, and I was late for it because I was at the creek. But I go to the creek every day now because I'm in Sedona, and there's a creek here, and it's not one in Vegas. But nonetheless, I'm experiencing more of that because I'm wiring in this new way of being. I don't have to work my ass off in order to be successful. That new mentality for me is changing my identity. Yes, I'm growing out my beard right now, but I'm doing it because I want to do it. And I'm going to tell myself a new story. Turn over a new leaf. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing? What are you letting go of that no longer serves you? And what will you begin to wire in? You going for your passion? You asking someone out that you find attractive? Challenge the old identity. The old identity is comfortable. It's comfortable for my old identity to take Adderall and not meditate. It was comfortable for my old identity to stay in that 9-to-5 job. But when you get into the unknown, that is where magic happens. Let go of the old perspectives. Let go of the old attachments. Wire in the new. Make a new choice about who you are at the identity level. And then as you begin to wire it in, that will eventually become your reality. So as you see me right now in this healing room with all these healing modalities that all have to do with letting go and wiring in, the one thing that I encourage you to do is to let go of the old to then wire in the new. And one of the most powerful ways you can do that is through meditation. If you didn't know already, I have a meditation that is specifically guided to help you let go of the old and to feel 100% worthy, whole, and complete. That's the most important thing that people do, is they don't feel worthy. The most common limiting belief people have. If you meditate for 21 days on feeling 100% worthy, whole, and complete, like the meditation I have below, it will transform your life. I guarantee it. So that's the message I have for you today. Do that meditation for 21 days. Watch what happens. Hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below and like this video if you liked it. I'll see you later. Peace. Much love.